Welcome to the King's Cast, the live show where we cover the latest Bethesda news. You can find us every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Central right here at the King's Corner. The King's Corner. It's the place for all things Bethesda. If you love Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, and Starfield, and you haven't subscribed yet to the KingFanMan channel, hit that subscribe button for the latest in Bethesda news, tips, lore, live stream, podcast, and so much more. Now, here's your host. He's not a fanboy. He is the KingFanMan.
Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan, and this is the KingCast, the live podcast where we cover the latest Bethesda news. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a Sunday version of the KingCast. I already see a little frustration in the chat from Bethesda. And I told y'all this was not going to be the year for Bethesda. Next year is the year for Bethesda. But we do have a lot to talk about. We are going to talk about the Xbox Showcase and what it means for some of those Bethesda games. We saw exclusives come back. That's going to be very interesting for the Elder Scrolls 6 and for Fallout 5. Does that mean they're going to be exclusives? We'll talk about that. Also, I don't know if y'all noticed, but there was some interesting announcement around Sea of Thieves. There's been some talk about what Asha Sharma meant when she said Sea of Thieves, Minecraft, and Elder Scrolls are going to be the main focus for this creator-centric material going forward. And everybody was like, well, Sea of Thieves don't have anything like that. What are you talking about? And, well, we saw today, so we're going to talk what that means. And I still believe she would not have said that if the Elder Scrolls 6 is not imminent. So, yes, I do still believe the Elder Scrolls 6 is close. And, in fact, today made me think that even more. I kind of had my eyes out wondering, would they sneak it today? Would they tease it today? But no, it's a 2027 thing, and that's going to be cool to talk about. So thank y'all for joining me here on this rainy weekend and Saturday. It's thundering outside, but it's great to see the chat going off. Warren, hey, how's it going? I got my Royal bobblehead right here. If y'all need a good bobblehead, go check out Royal Baubles. They are amazing. Gosh, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. We'll get to the chat in just a minute. But I do want to hear what y'all thought about the showcase overall. It seemed like to me there was a little bit more excitement around the showcase this year. Maybe just because of Asha and all the changes. But it did seem to be a more optimistic, excitement-laden thing, even though there wasn't really any surprises today. It was kind of wild. And as far as Bethesda goes, if y'all are wondering what Bethesda showed, I mean, about as little as you can show. Fallout 76 had a showing, of course. The Elder Scrolls Online is bringing back the Thieves Guild, and Doom the Dark Ages showed a new expansion called Revelations, which looks really cool, by the way. But that was it. That was all for Bethesda. But again, we're going to get into what all this means going forward. I did just my overall takes from the showcase. I didn't get to see it all live because I was in church, but that's okay. I did get to see it afterwards. I did get to see some of it before. I watched Red Wolf Renegades live stream of it. But anyway, the from what I saw and what I've gone back and seen, Fable, very interested to see Fable kind of have that darker tone. It was interesting, like a total different direction than we saw last year for Fable. I do wish they would have given some gameplay for Fable, some in-depth gameplay. Where is it? I mean, it's coming in February, and yet we still don't have any in-depth game show off from Fable, so that's kind of concerning to me. Clockwork Revolution looked really good. I don't know what y'all think about. Anybody excited about Clockwork Revolution? I'm going to tell you exactly the vibes that I get from Clockwork Revolution. It reminds me of 3 games if they all went together. Y'all think about this, and maybe I'm crazy. Dishonored, BioShock, and The Outer Worlds. You stick all those together, and I think you get Clockwork Revolution. It really, really looks interesting. It kind of has the feel of a Dishonored or the look of a Dishonored. But then you've got that In Exile, which brings the choice and consequence and all that. That's where the Outer Worlds comes into it. But it also has that Bioshock kind of feeling as well. So those were the two games that I was most excited for, was Fable and Clockwork Revolution. But let me get some of the chat here, and then we'll go into what all this means for Bethesda going forward. And again, we'll talk more about the Xbox showcase. Oh, by the way, how did y'all like that 25th anniversary Xbox? Some people say it looked cheap. I like it. I love it. I'm not going to be able to afford it, but if I would have been there as a fan, I would have gotten a free one. See, y'all should have paid my way there, right? Yeah. Hey, Mustaf, what's going on? Surfer says, somewhat of a good news day for 76. Yes, we got some 76 news, so stick around. I'll cover that first, by the way. Thank you for being here, Surfer. Ezra says hello. There's Warren Royal. Thank you for being here. Marcus says, I am butthurt that we didn't get a New Vegas or Fallout 3 Remastered Shadow Drop. We are going to talk about Fallout 3 Shadow Drop when it's coming. We'll talk about that more, I promise. He goes on to say, love you, Bethesda, but dang, you're worse than waiting on the woman to get ready. How much time does it frickin' take? I love that. Let's see. Morty says, yeah, a little frustrated we didn't get any Bethesda teasers. Justin says, hey, King, but there's too many ads in your podcast on YouTube. Like every 5 minutes, it's 3 unskippable ads. Is there somewhere else I can watch your podcast? I'm so sorry. I did try to cut those back as much as I can. I think they were going too much. So see if today is better. Hopefully it is. We will see. High Conductor says Showcase wasn't great. Only 3 games that I was interested in: the Doom DLC, Clockwork Revolution, and State of Decay 3. The rest looked uninteresting. Guitar and Gaming said, I know I have me to blame for expecting something different from Bethesda, but wow, it's such a letdown for such a big event. Again, I told y'all this was not the year for Bethesda. Just hold on. Bethesda's about to have a big year. It's going to be humongous. And just know, guys, believe it or not, I think Todd is absolutely wrong for this, but Todd wants to hold on and not say anything until the game is about to be released. Okay, you think about Clockwork Revolution. We saw a trailer of Clockwork Revolution last year. We saw another one of it this year, and we're not getting it until next year. If it was the Elder Scrolls, we would have already seen it. If it's coming next year, like I believe, we would have already seen 2 trailers for it, okay? So, yes, it is very frustrating. One of the things, and I don't think Todd gets this, but the less you talk to your fans, the tougher it is on fans, because you get your hopes up. And you know, some of that I think Todd loves. Todd loves surprises. And that's why he's not going to tell us anything in advance anymore. So I would say this. If we don't get it next year, then yes, I'm going to be highly disappointed if we don't get it next year. Unexpected outcome. How are you doing? She says, hi, King. I'm going to be obnoxious. I thought the showcase was awful, and I maintain that next year they'll announce the Elder Scrolls 6 for 2028, but it won't make it until 2029. Would you quit it? Stop it. We're going to think positive vibes here. By the way, there is a raging thunderstorm again outside. Don't know if y'all hear it or not, but if something happens to the broadcast, just hold on. I'll get back to you as soon as possible, but hope the storm does not take us down. So yes, I understand. Mr. John Smalley says, it is just depressing to see my favorite video game IP mismanaged so badly. 8 years since the Elder Scrolls 6 announcement. Are we going to even get the Elder Scrolls 6 in 2027? Didn't someone in the FTC trial mention 2028 for Elder Scrolls 6? No, what you're thinking of is Phil Spencer. Everything in the FTC said 2026, okay? Everything There were 2 FTC documents that said 2026. There was also a lawyer that testified it was going to be 2026. Phil Spencer was the one that said it's 5 years away. So that's where you get the 2020 later than 2026. So, but Phil was just, I don't think Phil knew. He was just saying, oh, it's a long way away. Don't worry about it. He was trying to get people to quit looking at the FTC documents and all that, and that's why he said, no, it's at least 5 years away. So we will see. Okay, we're going to talk Elder Scrolls 6, I promise, in depth in just a minute. We'll talk about Fallout 3 Remastered in depth as well, and more on the Xbox Showcase. But let's talk about Fallout 76 for just a moment. Fallout 76 did get a little bit of new announcements. Number one, right now, starting today through the 15th, there are going to be special login rewards. Now, these are a little bit bigger than your normal freebies for logging in to Fallout 76. I did log in today. Today's login is a free mascot head, so there's things like that. But we'll see. Every day there's supposed to be a new login reward. Also, the community challenge starts today and runs through the 15th as well. So those dates are the same for the login rewards and the community challenge. And this is the community challenge. We have to do 500,000 infestations by the 15th of June. And if we do that, we all get a brand new set, or I guess it'd be a set of power armor, or power armor paint, I guess you'd say. And it really looks good, by the way. It's red Brotherhood of Steel paint, so it looks pretty cool. But 500,000 infestations, that's a lot. And then one other thing with Fallout 76, tomorrow there's going to be an update with Fallout 76. Now, most of this is just fixes and that kind of thing. However, y'all watch. I believe, now he may not do it now that this community challenge is underway, but the last time I talked to John Rush, he said that if the infestations were going down a little too easy, that they would tweak them and make them a little bit harder. So y'all watch to see if tomorrow they don't make the infestations a little bit harder, because on the public servers anyway, they are going very, very quick. In fact, I've been doing my infestations on a private server by myself. So that's what's going on with Fallout 76. And by the way, I also mentioned that ESO, I don't know how many Elder Scrolls Online players we have, but it's kind of cool. This summer they are bringing the Thieves Guild. So that is neat for the Elder Scrolls Online. And by the way, the Xbox Game Pass PC Elder Scrolls Online is now free on, well, free. It's own Game Pass now on Xbox PC. And not only do you get the base game, but you can also get the full Morrowind expansion, which was the latest big expansion for the Elder Scrolls Online. So that's really cool, and I'm actually going to be playing it again. Okay, let's talk about exclusives for a minute, and what this means for future Xbox titles, along with Elder Scrolls 6 and, of course, Fallout 5. With we have Clockwork Revolution, Gears of War, and Clockwork were the two that they mentioned as exclusives. What do y'all think? I'll tell you what I think, and I've already been saying this. I believe the Elder Scrolls the Elder Scrolls 6, is going to be a timed exclusive, just like Starfield was. Especially now, guys, that they're making. I mean, it's obvious that the fans spoke. I'm not for exclusives. I wished all exclusives would go away, but I'm also not running Xbox and Microsoft. As long as PlayStation, and by the way, PlayStation doubled down on their exclusives, even taking many of them off of PC now. So, wow. So, yes, I absolutely believe the Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be a timed exclusive. And when I say timed exclusive, it's at least going to be a year that it will be on Xbox and PC only. So if you are a PlayStation person, then you definitely need to keep this in mind. Mr. John was talking about the mismanagement of the Elder Scrolls 6. I have gone on record many, many times. Y'all have heard me say this. I believe Todd Howard is extremely talented as far as a game developer. There's a problem, though, and it happened when Bethesda grew so much. When Bethesda grew so much, what happened was Todd Howard became the manager of not just one studio, but 4 studios. And then he started overseeing, 4 or 5 games at the same time, including mobile games and everything else. And if you look what has happened to Bethesda since all of that happened, that's when things really started going downhill. So has there been mismanagement at Bethesda since the growth period? Absolutely, 1,000%. And I blame Todd for that. He is not a good manager at all. He has not managed any of the IPs. You talk about the Elder Scrolls itself, but any of the IP, none of them have been managed well. And I'm going to go back to something I said a long time ago, but y'all listen to it again with fresh ears. Bethesda went over 10 years, having 4 studios, and not one person was working on a single player Fallout or Elder Scrolls game. Now, if that's not mismanagement, I don't know what is. How do you go over 10 years with 4 studios and not work on the 2 franchises that made you who you are? I mean, that's ridiculous. So, yes, it has been complete mismanagement. Absolutely, 100%. When you have 4 studios, there needs to be at least one studio working on one or the other of those franchises all the time. And I would say a studio for Fallout and a studio for the Elder Scrolls. And then if you want to do something separate, fine, but those are being worked on and not being mismanaged. So that's what I say there. But now I want to go back, since we're talking the Elder Scrolls, we'll talk Fallout 3 in a minute, but the Elder Scrolls 6, yes, I believe it's going to be exclusive, but again, I'm going to go back to one of the very first things, guys. This gives me hope, okay? One of the very first things of the show was Sea of Thieves getting a brand new, did y'all notice they're getting a brand new thing called, what's it called? Oh, Custom Seas. Custom Seas. And what this is you can have your own private server and make your own adventures in Sea of Thieves. And remember, it was not just about a month ago that Asha Sharma said 3 games. She mentioned 3 games in the internal memo to Xbox and said that Sea of Thieves, Minecraft, and the Elder Scrolls are going to be a focus for creator-centric material, content. And that's huge because, number one, Minecraft is one of the biggest creator-centric platforms there is. And what I mean by that is people paying physical money for content that outside creators make, not the studio themselves. Mods, okay? Well, Sea of Thieves didn't have anything like that. So I've made a couple of videos on it, saying how important this was, that she actually said that about the Elder Scrolls. And people were like, no, she's talking the Elder Scrolls Online. She's talking this, she's talking that. And they would always come back with, Sea of Thieves don't have anything like that. What are you talking about? And here it is. So what does that mean for the Elder Scrolls? Guys, she would not have said the Elder Scrolls if it was still 2 or 3 years away. Unexpected outcome, here's your hope. Asha would have not said the Elder Scrolls if it's more than a year away. Now, this is very important, guys, because, listen, I know a little bit about this because Bethesda themselves have contacted me within the last week, 2 weeks. I've talked to them multiple times in the last couple of weeks, wanting me to do content on mods for Starfield, for Fallout 4, and for Skyrim. In fact, they've offered to give me credit so that I could play all these mods and show them to y'all. They're really pushing this. If they're doing it with me, I promise you I'm not the only creator out there that they've contacted and said, hey, can you kind of promote some of the mods, some of these creations? Okay? So if The Elder Scrolls 6 was more than a year away, Asha would have said Starfield. She would have said Fallout. She would have said what's currently producing these mods and creations. She would not have said The Elder Scrolls if it was more than a year away. And I say more than a year, the fall of 2027, okay, is a little bit more than a year, but y'all know what I'm saying. I hope y'all know what I'm saying. Thank you so much, Unexpected Outcome, for the super chat. Bethesda needs to go back to small teams, each with its own project game. No more development by committee. I 100% agree. Keep Austin doing Fallout 76. Have Maryland doing the main game, whatever's current, and then you have 2 more studios left, okay? Have a dedicated small Fallout team, a dedicated small, and I say small, go back to the 100 people, okay? Again, Bethesda's bigger than they've ever been, but you can have a Fallout team and an Elder Scrolls team constantly working on those games. If y'all want me to preach a little bit more, and I'm not done with that creator-centric, okay, but hold on just a minute. We have a studio in Montreal that does nothing but mobile games. What have we gotten out of that studio in the last 20 years? We got Fallout Shelter. That was in 2015. But since Fallout Shelter, and Fallout Shelter was a success, it's made more money for Bethesda than any other game, okay? Believe it or not. But other than Fallout Shelter, what has Montreal Studio brought to us? They brought us that great game Blades that's already canceled. It's gone. They brought us Castles. I haven't played Castles. I believe, my opinion, I believe that is a wasted studio. You also have the Dallas studio, which is just a support studio. In other words, they just kind of do whatever games need more help on, they pitch in on. But again, when you've got 4 studios, man, that could be managed so much better and put content in the hands of the fans that we really want. Okay, back to that. I hope that was. I heard y'all saying preach. Here I go preaching again. But I really want y'all to think about this creator-centric content. This was what Asha was giving to her people at Xbox. And she mentioned the Elder Scrolls, the Sea of Thieves, and Minecraft. That this was going to be a focus, okay, going forward. If the Elder Scrolls 6 is not coming until 2028, 2029, 2030, all these dates you hear, she would not have said the Elder Scrolls. And today, with Sea of Thieves coming out with this, it shows me it is that game is so, it's very, very close, guys. Very, very close. I believe the Elder Scrolls is done. To be honest, in my opinion, if GTA was not this fall, then we would get the Elder Scrolls this year. That's my opinion. Okay, let me try to read some of these that I have gone way past. Y'all forgive me. I get long-winded. Hey, Dale, what's going on? If you think incursions are weak solo, your character must be super tanky. No. I didn't say they were weak solo. I said I was doing them solo. And they were fun. They were challenging, but they were fun. I believe they're a little bit too weak to be on public servers, was what I was saying. REMYS, I don't want to mispronounce because then it says dad, that's probably your daughter, man. Let me just read the comment. I'm terrible pronouncing things. Anyway, Elder Scrolls 6 should be on Xbox only. That way it's made faster, do a terrible port later to PlayStation like they did for Starfield. You didn't mention Starfield, but that's exactly what they did. Happy Cloud Gamer says, I play most on Steam, but Gears E-Day console exclusive forced me to play on my Xbox. So I think exclusive is important. Again, it is for Xbox. I really wished exclusives would go away. And I'm just talking about for gaming in general. I really wished it would go away, but boy. Okay, J-Man Games says, yay, they couldn't do anything about the announced games. They already signed contracts to do that. The Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5 are exclusive, and many more will be, in my opinion. Let's see. Todd wasted his and our time on Indiana Jones. Now, Indiana Jones was a success, but again, that goes back to Todd. Yeah, Todd, they need to get him focused on Bethesda Game Studios and game development. They really need a manager. Maybe not to be Todd's boss, because I know Todd wouldn't take that, but Microsoft really needs to think about hiring a efficiency manager. Okay, that's what I would call it if I was in charge. We're going to hire an efficiency manager for Bethesda Game Studios, and this person is going to look over these 4 studios. That way, Todd, you'll be free to work on games like you love to do. See, that. If I was Asha, that's what I would do. We're going to hire an efficiency manager for, boy, they sure need one. Okay, Bearcraft says, complete mismanagement is right. Question is, where is the accountability? I will say this. I think new leadership matters, and we're going to see how Asha is and how Matt is with the studios. But people thinking that they're going to let Bethesda Game Studios take until 2029, man, again, I don't think you pay that much money for a studio. And how long's it been since they bought Bethesda? And they still have not yet got a Fallout or an Elder Scrolls out of them. So, yeah, unexpected outcome said Todd's gone Hollywood. I know. Todd loves the attention. Again, he needs to get back to doing what he does best. Jeremy says it stopped being Bethesda when ZeniMax bought them. Then ZeniMax was bought by Microsoft. A lot of things have changed. And this is something we need to talk about. I mean, this is really probably a whole podcast subject, but I mentioned this in the Bethesda Brothers podcast, and I'm telling you, y'all do not realize how important the Elder Scrolls 6 is for Bethesda, and maybe you do. I don't mean to speak for you. Most people don't understand the importance of this game. If somehow the Elder Scrolls 6 falls flat like Starfield did, then the Bethesda that we all knew and loved is not there anymore. It's really not. I mean, if they lay a dud with the Elder Scrolls 6, the Bethesda that we knew and loved is gone forever. It just is. So the Elder Scrolls 6 is so important to getting Bethesda's reputation back for a lot of reasons. High Conductor says Custom C, cough, 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 Custom Worlds, basically. Yes, it is. Mr. John says, and with the new console launch for Xbox right around the corner, then having the Elder Scrolls 6 as an Xbox exclusive is obvious. Yes, that's another thing. Again, it's going to be an exclusive for the upcoming new Helix. Now, this is something that is interesting, okay? And this is going to go into the Elder Scrolls 6 as well. What do they do with the Elder Scrolls 6? If Helix does not come until 2028, see, we still don't know if it's coming next year, if it's coming 2028. Then do they release the Elder Scrolls 6 on this current gen and then do an upgrade like Todd loves to do to be a cross-gen platform? Or do they hold it and wait on Helix and make it a launch title for Helix? That is the only reason. That is the only reason I'm not jumping up and down saying that 2027 is absolutely 1,000% when the Elder Scrolls 6 is coming. That's the only thing, in my opinion, that would delay the Elder Scrolls 6 to 2028. So that's something we need to really, really, really be watching. Marcus says they are still making millions every year off of Skyrim and Fallout 4. We are our own worst enemies every time we rebuy those two titles. We have to stop buying the classics for them to speed up. That's 100%. You're 100% right. I don't know how many times I've bought Skyrim. Oh, boy. High Conductor says maybe 2027 release, maybe mid-2028. Yes. Justin says creator-centric probably meant content creators. Well, they're talking creations in Elder Scrolls 6, just like we have now for Starfield, for Fallout 4. I'm telling you, these creations are about to go crazy. Let's see. Seymour Meow says, I heard a rumor about the Elder Scrolls 7. Well, break it right here on the KingCast. Break it to us. I would love to hear that rumor. I hope it's a good rumor. He also says, we need to talk about Fallout 5. I had a strong idea for the looping dialogue exposition for Fallout 5 because Fallout 4 had a lack of exposition depth that a proper argument has. Oh, the dialogue in Fallout 4 was horrific. Aaron says, I really want the Elder Scrolls 6. Again, I want, if there's one thing that y'all take from this and leave, and we still got a lot of things to talk about. We haven't even touched Fallout 3 Remastered yet. If there's one thing that y'all take from this, I'm telling y'all, when that Sea of Thieves thing came out, it just made me think back to what Asha said about Elder Scrolls. She would not, guys, I'm telling y'all, if this is the hopium y'all need for the day, she would not have said the Elder Scrolls if it was more than a year away. Why would you tell your internal team we're going to focus on the Elder Scrolls if it's more than a year away? You wouldn't do that. You would say Fallout or Starfield. I mean, Fallout, my word, look how hot Fallout is right now. And we almost know there's going to be a Fallout remaster come out before the Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. The Fallout TV show's going strong. Then why wouldn't she say Fallout? She didn't. She said the Elder Scrolls. It's not as far away as people are saying. It's just not. Okay, here we go. That Todd might wait till the Elder Scrolls 7. Break it, KingFanMan. Oh, you dirty dog. Bear says, your whole argument for the Elder Scrolls 6 coming out soon is that she said Elder Scrolls for creator-centric content, but she never said Elder Scrolls 6. Okay, Bear. Okay, here we go. Every time I've got to do this again. What do you think she was talking about? Just answer that question. If she wasn't talking about the Elder Scrolls 6, what was she talking about? Elder Scrolls Online? It does not have creator-centric content. She said specifically creator-centric content. So the only other one you got is Skyrim, because Oblivion doesn't have creations. The only one you have is Skyrim. Why in the world would she not say Fallout when Fallout 4 is newer and the series is going strong? Why would she say that? Why would she talk about a 2011 game? Again, I'm just using common sense here, okay? She would not have said the Elder Scrolls alone if the Elder Scrolls 6 was more than a year away. She wouldn't be talking about Skyrim. A Skyrim remaster? Well, if they do the Skyrim remaster the way they did the Oblivion remaster, then there's no creations with that either because you have the Unreal Engine. And it's very hard to mod the Unreal Engine, especially when you have the Gamebryo engine and the Unreal Engine together. It's almost impossible. So, again, guys, just take the hopium. Take it. Quit arguing. Take it. Take it and be happy. John says, let's hope they already hired an efficiency manager. They have not, but they need to. Let's see. It is 0057 here in Norway, so I have to sleep. Going to work at 7 o'clock. Bless your heart. Well, thank you for staying up until almost 1 a.m. in the morning. I know it's a little later than we normally do the KingCast. We're an hour later than we normally do the KingCast, but thank y'all for being here. Bear says, on the accountability point, what are the odds that there is firing or studio closures, mergers of studios at Bethesda? That's another interesting thing to think about. You look at all the layoffs that happened last year, 2025, and yet the only ones that got laid off from BGS were non-game development positions. You had some community managers, some things like that were laid off, but no game developers were laid off from Bethesda Game Studios. And on top of that, this is what goes into Fallout 5. Again, this is just, you got to put facts together sometime. When those layoffs, the big, huge layoffs were happening, Bethesda Game Studios was hiring, which is very interesting. That's when I believe they were putting the team together for Fallout 5. So I believe that Fallout 5 has been under full development since 2025, which is really good news. Okay, I'm almost caught up. Let's see. Happy Cloud Gamer says Starfield was and is a success. See, I agree. The sad thing about Starfield is it has the name of not being a success. But yet, when it launched, the sales were very successful with Starfield. The reviews were very, very high for Starfield. Starfield got some 10 out of 10s. Most of what it got was 8 out of 10s. I mean, Starfield was very well received when it came out. But over time, Starfield has gotten that, and it's almost the Fallout 76 effect. It's like when one person starts chirping on something, 15 others jump on the bandwagon. And it's become a popular thing to downgrade Bethesda. It's really become popular. And Starfield has become this, it's terrible. And all. No, Starfield does have some deficiencies. There's no doubt about it. I love Starfield, but Starfield definitely has a few issues, okay? The generation of planets, the exploration is different. I mean, there's some things that I think even Todd has acknowledged. It's different, and you have to go about it different. You know, he talks this way, but no, Starfield was in no ways a disappointment or a failure. What I'm talking about is the chatter around it. If the Elder Scrolls comes out and it has bad player retention, which is one of Starfield's problems, those kind of things is what I'm talking about. Y'all asked me a couple of weeks ago, and I think I gave a really good answer, and I'm going to say it again. I think it's worth repeating. Somebody asked me that, did I think that the Elder Scrolls 6 was going to be a success? And I'm going to say this again. It is going to be a financial success, no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to be a financial success. But look what happened to Starfield. Again, financial success. It was reviewed very well, but what happened very quickly? People started changing their reviews. Then people started piling on the negative reviews. So now that it's mixed in reviews. And when it first came out, it was very high reviews. It was crazy. So there's going to be a lot of people that try to hate on the Elder Scrolls 6 no matter how it is. And that's sad. So we'll just have to see going forward. Unexpected Outcome says, what is Elder Scrolls Online introduces private servers like 76 and allows custom content on them? They'd make a fortune. They would, which is interesting, though. They said nothing about it today, which is, again, important. So what was she talking about in this memo when she says the Elder Scrolls and content are creator-centric content. I believe 1,000% she was not talking about Skyrim. She was not talking about the Elder Scrolls Online. They are preparing the Elder Scrolls 6 from day one to put out creations. And I'm talking about massive DLC size $10 creations, okay? Bethesda is already funding people to make them right now. I can tell y'all that. Wink, wink, okay? They are already making creations for the Elder Scrolls 6. There you go. Okay, let's talk Fallout. We can come back to Elder Scrolls 6 in a minute, but let's talk about Fallout 3 Remastered. There was a lot of people that were disappointed that we didn't get a Fallout 3 Remastered shadow dropped, and I have been one that said that I thought it was very, very likely for a Fallout 3 Remastered shadow drop to be at this showcase. However, y'all know I've also said that marketing-wise, it makes no sense to put out Fallout 3 Remastered right now. It would make much more sense to save it, even if it's ready, until around the TV show. Again, if I was in the business, that's what I would do. You hear what people are saying. Jez Gordon says he thinks that Fallout 3 Remastered is coming next year, next spring probably. However, you have that McFarlane toy leak. That's the biggest one, and they've almost always, whenever there's been a McFarlane toy leak, in fact, I could go back and if I think really hard, I could name 4 or 5 games that McFarlane themselves has leaked, and they've always come true. Batman was one of them. Let me think. See, there's my memory. Anyway, Batman. But yeah, I need to list these for a King cast coming up here so I can tell you all this. But when McFarlane leaks something like that, it comes true. That's the thing. So now, the McFarlane toy has a August holding date on it. I do not believe you make that toy for a game that's a year away, okay? So that's why I think it's very, very, very possible. Is somebody in the chat being rude? Y'all quit being rude. Don't be rude. That's why I think it's very possible that we get a shadow drop for Fallout 3 this summer to this fall. I really do. Now, again, if I was Bethesda, I would wait on the TV show, but there you go. All right, let me try to catch up with this rude chat. Y'all don't be rude. Let's be nice on this Lord's Day, please. Justin said, "Hey King, what are you excited for this year?" Again, out of the showcase, the 2 that really excited me the most was Fable. I want to see more of it. I don't think we saw enough of Fable. I don't know why we didn't get an in-depth gameplay, because this is coming in February, but that's one I'm definitely going to play. And then Clockwork Revolution was the other one that I'm really excited for, that I'm going to play, obviously. Again, if you weren't here at the first of the show, I said Clockwork Revolution reminds me of Dishonored, BioShock, and The Outer Worlds. If you put all those together, that's what Clockwork Revolution kind of looks like to me. Goon says, "I was just being stupid. I wouldn't mind Skyrim having updated graphics and controls." Well, I tell you, they are going to do a Skyrim remaster. You can bet on that 1,000%. If there's one bet that is easy to make, is will Todd make another Skyrim? Will Todd release Skyrim again? Yes, that's an easy bet to make. Okay. Seymour says, "Reminds me of the old days back in 2012 of Bethesda. Remember trying to solve the Redguard trademark?" Yes, I do. I really do. Was that far back? 2012? Wow. I loved writing fan fiction for Starfield. I have never seen that type of game before. Not bad, just argumentative. Never seen game content that argumentative before. Let's see. WHLSNPCLLY66 says Elder Scrolls and Fallout will not be exclusive. Too many PlayStation people buy those already. I own both PlayStation and Xbox, so I don't care either way. I love your positivity, but if I was a betting man, I would bet you that the Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be exclusive, no doubt. It's going to be a timed exclusive, but it will be an exclusive. It will. If Starfield hadn't have had the bad talk around it, then that timed exclusive would have worked really, really well. But the way it was, it didn't. So what Microsoft is very much hoping for is that the Elder Scrolls 6 maintains players much better. And then a year later, after they've got the benefits of the exclusivity, then they can sell a bunch to PlayStation. So that's how timed exclusives are supposed to work. It didn't work that way with Starfield. Seymour says, read my 2 comments on Starfield from the guy who spent 1,600 document pages trying to write into Starfield itself. Mr. John says, Starfield got 2 DLCs in 2.5 years. Yes, guys, I think that is part of this new creations era that we're getting into. I believe it wouldn't be any different, even if Starfield had bunches of players and was much more popular right now. I think what we're going to see in the future from future Bethesda games are less Bethesda-made DLCs and many, 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 many more creations. But what you need to do, and of course, that's one of the reasons I told Bethesda yes, that I would start covering some of these creations. A lot of these creations that are coming out for Starfield, for Fallout 4, even for Skyrim, they are literally Bethesda-backed creations. So they are the closest thing you can get to a Bethesda DLC. They're the closest thing you can get to a canon DLC, because Bethesda has either paid for them, they've either helped these companies with them, or they've even Bethesda has written up the idea for the DLC and given it to somebody else to do. So these are very much Bethesda involved creations. So there you go. Marcus says the Elder Scrolls 6 will be a video game. It's not going to be anything more than that. People had so much hope and expectations for Starfield that they don't realize it's good. Elder Scrolls 6 will be a good game. That's it. I agree with you, Marcus, 100%. Chaz says, what did Bethesda say? I missed everything. Bethesda didn't say squat. All we got from Bethesda was Fallout 76, The Elder Scrolls Online, and Doom Eternal. Literally, no new games from Bethesda. We got a DLC for Doom, and we didn't even get anything new from Fallout 76. By the way, also Fallout 76, did y'all know that the next gen upgrade for Fallout 76 is going to the public test server? So we should be getting that in September. And I am excited for the next-gen upgrade for Fallout 76. It should be the September update for that, which is very, very good. It's now time to get a Bethesda tattoo. Or should I wait? Justin, I would wait until you see what the main... any Elder Scrolls fans are going to know what I'm talking about. See what the main logo is for the Elder Scrolls 6. Is it going to be the Imperial Seal? I doubt it, because a little Elder Scrolls lore for you guys. We'll be nerdy here for a minute. Did y'all know that Hammerfell is the only district that is not part of the Empire anymore? In fact, they fell away from the Empire because they did not agree with that white gold concordant or whatever it's called with the High Elves. So they actually fought the High Elves during the time of Skyrim. They did not go with the Empire with that. So they are not part of the Empire. So the logo that we think of, the dragon with the diamond, that's not probably going to be the main logo for the Elder Scrolls 6 because it's not an Imperial district, which is kind of interesting. So, Justin, I would say wait and see what the logo is. If you're an Elder Scrolls fan anyway, wait and see what the logo is for the Elder Scrolls 6. Because that Imperial logo is really going to be dated once the Elder Scrolls 6 gets here. KingFanMan, do you think the Elder Scrolls 6 will be PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox? We talked about that just a little bit, Aaron. Jay Busy says, confirmed, Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5 canceled. How accurate do you think the August 31st toy leak is for Fallout 3? Again, that's a placeholder date. I was thinking about Fallout 3 before I came on, and I really wished I had some better news for you for the Fallout 3 remastered. I'm going to tell you honestly, most of the time you kind of get a feel for, or you hear from people. I honestly, with Fallout 3, it could come anytime this summer, or they could wait on the Fallout TV show. And I know I'm not giving y'all anything. I honestly don't know. They have kept this one a much better secret than they did with Oblivion. From what I heard from Todd Howard was very, very upset with the Oblivion leaks. Because again, Todd Howard wants to surprise people. I think he's totally wrong. Again, if the Elder Scrolls 6 did the same as Clockwork Revolution did, we had already have 2 trailers from the Elder Scrolls 6. And I'm not talking about the 2018 trailer, okay? I'm talking about real, legitimate trailers. But Todd wants to not say anything at all until months before the game comes out. So I really, 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 really disagree with that. So I don't know if that answered you, but yeah. I think they could surprise us. So getting back to the Fallout 3, Todd was very upset with the Oblivion. I remembered your question now. So he wanted this Fallout 3 remastered to be a huge secret of when it's coming. And I think they've done really good. Jez Gordon don't know. Nate the Hate don't know. I mean, you listen to them. When it came to Oblivion, they would all say, yeah, it's around the spring of 2025. Nobody knows when this one's coming. Without that McFarlane toy leak, we wouldn't know anything other than the FTC thing. Nobody's known anything. So all I can do is use, and this is why I go back and forth. You look at that McFarlane toy leak, does that August date mean anything, or are they going to wait on the TV show? I think Todd's going to drop it when we least expect it. That's the best I can tell you about Fallout 3. Todd really, really, really wants to surprise us here. Blinky Blanks, did I say that right? He says, hey, King, how you doing, brother? I'm doing great on this rainy Sunday. I'm hurting a little bit. My lupus is going crazy because of the rain, but I always start feeling better when the rain gets here than before the rain. Yesterday, man, I was in rough shape yesterday. But I'm doing much better today. Had a great day at church. Had a great day with my family. And now I'm getting to hang out with you guys. So I'm having a great, great day. Thank you for asking. Also, can someone check on the Elder Scrolls 6 subreddit? Those guys are crashing out. I bet they are. But again, guys, I'm glad I didn't get your hopes up for this year. Now, I can see. Let's just go ahead 12 months to this time next year. If the Elder Scrolls is not announced next year, then there can be some disappointment in this chat. Okay? Y'all know I'll still bring optimism to you, but I've been saying 2027 for a long, long time. Let's see. Marcus says creations are not that great. When you think about it, it gives Bethesda a built-in reason to keep releasing the same title instead of making a new game. It definitely... I will say this, there is some very good things about creations and some very bad things about creations. Creations gives us a lot of content that we wouldn't otherwise have, which is a good thing. But it's also, again, Bethesda is going to make fewer and fewer DLCs from now on. You look at Starfield. Somebody said we've had 2.5. I don't even know if you can say that. We've really only had one full-size DLC for Starfield. The other one was Terran Armada and Free Lanes, which really both of them was about a half of a DLC. So I guess you could say we've had 2 now. So there you go. Let's see. The Dude says, I'm 32 minutes behind, but on the mismanagement bit, 100%. Todd needs to step back and let folks cook. 100%. Hey, King, I'm watching delayed, so I'm out of topic. Why are you doing the mod review thing for Bethesda games? You have all the Bethesda fans for that. Let's see. Why are you not? Oh, I am doing it. If you misunderstood, I am doing it. Bethesda contacted me a week before last for the first time and asked if I would be interested in doing a creations content. And they just asked me for Starfield. And then I talked to them again this past week and said, hey, since y'all are interested in me doing it for Starfield, would you like for me to do it for Fallout 4 and Skyrim as well? And they were like, yeah, that'd be great. So, yes, I am going to do it. So, be looking for my first video on that very, very, very soon. Let's see. John says, we need info on High Rock and the Bretons in Elder Scrolls 6. The Bretons are my absolute favorite race. I don't know if y'all even care about this, but I actually always play as a Breton. Oh, we got another super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. J-Man Games says, love this channel, KingFanMan. Love all Bethesda games so much. Appreciate the positive and hopeful content. $5 super chat. Thank y'all so much. Thank you to you. Thank you to Unexpected Outcome. Y'all do not know how much those super chats mean to me. In fact, probably about half of what I make, and it's not much on YouTube. And by the way, I'm trying to do this full time, and I know a lot of y'all don't know my story anymore, but I pastor a little bitty small church, and I have lupus, so I'm kind of disabled, though I don't take disability. But anyway, I'm trying to get this out quick. So I'm trying to do YouTube full time to bring in a little bit of money while my wife is out there working for the family. So about half of what I make is from the super chats. So y'all are so nice to me. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it so much. Matthew says BGS not showing up at the showcase was such a disappointment. Maybe next year. I really didn't expect anything. If y'all looked at my, I don't know, it's been almost a month now. I gave y'all what to expect here. And the things that I thought they might surprise us with were things like Marvel Blade. But I also told you I didn't think that was coming until next year. Wolfenstein 3 was another one, but I don't think that one's coming until next year. So really, Bethesda is about to have a huge year in 2027. Man, there's a $50 super chat saying, God bless. Thank you, Mr. Wirt. I appreciate that so much. Oh, man. Thank you. What did I do to deserve that? Thank you so much. God bless you for supporting me. Thank you. Can I say thank you again? Thank you again. That was amazing. Unexpected Outcome says, or they could release it right around Thanksgiving along with the toy Christmas shopping. Yeah, see, that's why I honestly don't know about the Fallout 3 remaster. Now, I think that's exactly where Todd wants it. We could see it Fallout Day, even though I think I heard that what game's coming out that day? The big one. Gosh, I just went blank. What is the Army game that they showed today? Anyway, I think it's coming out that day on Fallout Day, October the 23rd. Modern Warfare. What's the game? Call of Duty. Gosh, I couldn't get it out. Anyway, Call of Duty, yeah, I think it is coming that day. So, see, Fallout 3, just when do you think it's coming? I don't know. Is it going to be Fallout Day? Is it going to be this summer? Is it going to be around the TV show? Oh, man, we got some great stuff here. Alexander, welcome to the King's Crew. Thank you so much. By the way, I love to see all those crowns. Those are amazing. I just had a Starfield members-only stream, so I appreciate that. And then Ezra bought 10 KingFanMan gift memberships. So welcome a bunch of people to the King's Crew. That is awesome. Y'all will have that, I think, for a month. So thank y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. I like to see all those beautiful, beautiful colors. But yeah, Todd is really, really going to surprise us with the Fallout 3, and I think that's exactly what they want. So yeah, it could be this fall, or it could be this spring around the TV show. You know, we still don't know when the TV show is going to be. I don't think the TV show is going to make it this fall. They're still filming right now. So that would be too big of a turnaround to do all the editing and everything that they would have to do. So we're looking at 2027 then for season 3 of the TV show. Again, if I was in marketing, and y'all tell me what y'all would do if y'all was in marketing, would you not put a new Fallout game or a remastered Fallout game out around when the next season came out? That just makes sense of the TV show. That just makes so much sense to me. But the fun of this one is, the fun of the Fallout 3 is it could come out literally any day. With that McFarlane toy leak, yes, it could be any time this summer we could be surprised with it. It could be Fallout Day that they surprise us with it. It could be Christmas that they surprise us with it, or they could wait on the TV show. It's wild. And if you're looking for timetable, how long it should be, they have had long enough, even if it was the very same studio that did Oblivion. I believe they have had long enough to remaster Fallout 3, because now they have experience with the Gamebryo engine and the Unreal Engine and doing them together. Believe it or not, Fallout 3 does not have as much to change as Oblivion did, even though the weapon play is a huge thing that needs to be changed in the Fallout 3. But it's not that much of work compared to what the Oblivion was going in cold. So yes, I believe they absolutely could be done right now, and they're just waiting on the right time to drop the Fallout 3 remaster. And by the way, them not dropping it today during the showcase, y'all also gotta give Bethesda a little bit of a break. You know who's calling the shots now of when things drop and all that. It's not Todd Howard. It's Asha and her boss now with Microsoft. And I found it very interesting that Matt Booty and there was another guy at Xbox talking about wanting to give these games their own spaces. So, I can't imagine having to plan when all these games come out and all that. But let's look ahead to 2027. How is 2027, as far as Xbox goes, shaping up to be a good year or a bad year for The Elder Scrolls 6? Everything we got in the showcase today, if you look at it, almost everything, by the way, there was about 25 games showed off, new stuff. And most of it is coming this year. In fact, let's see, I've got 10 or 11 games that are expansions that are coming this year. And then you look to next year, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 that is coming next year. But the only big ones, that are not scheduled to come in the spring are Clockwork Revolution, Crazy Taxi, and State of Decay 3. And I don't believe any of those would get in the way of the Elder Scrolls 6 coming in the fall. So it really lines up really good. Again, I'm going to say this. I'm sorry I have to repeat myself, but The only thing that might get in the way of the Elder Scrolls and next fall is Project Helix and what Microsoft wants to do. The Elder Scrolls is going to be a huge bargaining chip. And for whoever it was that said that the Elder Scrolls is not going to be an exclusive, you're kidding yourselves. If they are going back to exclusives, which obviously they made a pretty big commitment today to go back to exclusives, then there is not a bigger name on the board to be an exclusive than the Elder Scrolls. I mean, it is a console seller. If there was ever going to be a console seller, in other words, think about it. How many people are going to go buy a console, a whole console, just to play Clockwork Revolution? Really, how many people would do that? And I'm not saying the game's not going to be good. I'm not saying, but really, how many people would go buy a console to play Clockwork Revolution? And as big as Gears of War has been in the past, how many people would go buy a console to play Gears of War? I think a few more would than they would Clockwork Revolution. But Elder Scrolls is a tier even above Gears of War when it comes to console sellers. So yes, it's going to be a big, big exclusive draw. But you have to think, Microsoft is thinking, okay, since we're going to make Elder Scrolls 6 an exclusive, do we want it to be a launch title of Helix, which would sell some consoles again? And if that's the case, when is Project Helix coming out? Is it coming out in time for Christmas next year? Or is it going to go into 2028? No, and I'm sorry, your name is JBIZZY. It will be on PC 100%. The good thing about Microsoft is obviously they own Microsoft. Microsoft owns Microsoft. And Microsoft is a computer company, which is great as well with Windows and all that stuff. So yes, it will be on PC. When it's exclusive, it's going to be exclusive to Xbox and PC. So that's the good thing. PlayStation now has actually gone exclusive and holding theirs away from PC, which is crazy. JD says, sad we didn't see Wolfenstein 3. Yeah, I've talked about that in the past. The good thing is it is coming. Also, the TV show is coming. However, I think the earliest we could see Wolfenstein is next year. Next year is the anniversary of Wolfenstein 3D. However, I don't know if Wolfenstein is going to be done by next year or not. I think they would love it to be, but it may be 2028 before we see Wolfenstein 3. Alexander, thank you so much. Not only is a new member, now got me a super chat as well. Heard a rumor that when Todd said the Elder Scrolls 6 reached a major milestone on Kinda Funny Gamecast, that the game was officially in polish. What do you think? I actually agree with you 100%. That's exactly what I believe as well, that it went to what Todd calls the glue phase. So it's not just polish. It's not just getting the bugs out. Todd says glue takes 6 months to a year. And it's where they're basically, this is the sad part, this is where they start taking out things. If there's things that are getting in the way, they actually cut content. If you wonder where all the cut content comes from, Fallout 4 had underwater content, an underwater vault, and all this stuff. That happens during the glue phase. Justin says, what benefits do members get? I'm working on that, Justin. Right now, there are members-only live streams and members-only podcasts. I have done, I've done Starfield a couple of times. I just did the Veil and Beyond the Veil, which are creations that were Starfield members only. but I'm going to try to do more for my members, even more for my members soon. So thank you, Alexander, for that super chat and being a member of the King's Crew now. That's awesome. Oh, and the Queen is also trying to work on making T-shirts that say the King's Crew, and I'm going to try to get that out too, especially those that are in the United States, and if you're close around, then I can. So let's see. I'm going to try to catch up with y'all because we're running close to time already. Gosh, we've already been going over an hour. Guitar and Gaming says, I would release a game with the show, but man, at least give us a little taste of what's to come. Again, that is the Todd Howard way of not talking, and somebody needs to tell Todd that is not good. Again, his management skills stink. I love Todd to death. I think he's very talented, but his management is terrible. Thank you, Alexander. I appreciate that so much. Yes, I think he needs to talk to us much more. Okay. Aaron says, KingFanMan, I wasn't here when you talked about the PlayStation 6 and next Xbox for the Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. What does Microsoft decide to do? Again, when the Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, it's not up to Todd. It's up to Asha and even above her. And again, it's going to be, do you let it out? Let's just say Helix does not come out next year, which, man, that's going to be heartbreaking for a lot of reasons. Because then Microsoft has to decide, okay, we're releasing the Elder Scrolls as a timed exclusive, but do we really want to have it selling Xbox X's when in just, 6 to 8 months we're going to release the Helix and it could be a launch title? So again, all these things go into when a game comes out. It's not just when it's ready. I believe this is my belief based on a lot of evidence. I believe the Elder Scrolls 6 is very, very close to being done. Again, I'm going to say, here's your hopium. Asha would not have said that about the Elder Scrolls had it not be very close. But a lot's going to go into when it comes out. So, makes sense they didn't want the Elder Scrolls 6 to overshadow Gears. Yes, absolutely. And we've always known, anybody with a brain has known, again, some would argue it, but the Elder Scrolls does not want to come out the same year as that Rockstar game that came out. However, if it comes out next year, it may be battling with The Witcher 4. I mean, you're always going to have somebody big to battle with. So just make your game good, and then you don't have to worry about it. Mr. John says BGS caught with their pants down not having any new content for Season 1 of Fallout. Yep, I'd imagine they want to shadow drop it with the new TV season. Me too, 100%. 100%. Y'all hold on 5 seconds. Come here. Yep, y'all are going to have to see why I'm about to have to end the stream. I have a darling baby here that's asking to go out. You want to say anything? Huh? This is my candy cane. Let's see. Let me get the rest of the chats and then we'll get out of here. I hope y'all have had a good time on this Sunday. I have enjoyed being with y'all. Unexpected Outcome says, I thought the voice acting in Gears of War was terrible. Couldn't believe that such a big deal game sounded so awful. I've got to go back and I have not watched the deep dive into it yet. I'm really excited to watch that though. Let's see. Lucian says, you're giving Renfall PTSD talking about console exclusives. Remember, only PlayStation can have exclusive games. If Xbox has exclusives, that is toxic. Well, they're back. Mr. John says Xbox would be in such a bad spot if they didn't have that strong PC platform. 100%. Let's see. Unexpected says Shirley Curley is 90 years old and she has been waiting for the Elder Scrolls 6. Bless her heart. I know it. And has given up hope for ever seeing it. And they made her an NPC in the game. They need to release it. I agree. Again, that's not all Bethesda, but are you hot, baby? Are you hot? Aaron says if Elder Scrolls 6 is 2027, it wouldn't have to fight with GTA 6, and also Bethesda could announce the Elder Scrolls 6 at the Game Awards. What I suspect, again, this is what I think they'll do. If the Elder Scrolls 6 is next year, which I think it's going to be, then we're probably not going to hear about it. If Todd has his way, I'll say it that way. If Todd has his way, we will not hear about it until the June showcase. So remember, Xbox has a March showcase. We won't even hear it then. We'll hear about it June and then see it in the fall. Now, if Microsoft has their way, we'll probably hear about it either at the Game Awards or at the Microsoft Showcase in March. Then we'll have a deep dive. I know you're hot. In June, and then it'll come out in the fall. So, but again, Todd doesn't want anything said until it's almost dropped. Well, guys, I hate to go. I love hanging out with y'all. Thank y'all so much for spending your Sunday here with me. I appreciate that so much. Anytime that y'all show up for me, I appreciate it more than you know. And the super chats and the memberships, all that has been fantastic today. So thank y'all so much. I hope I gave y'all some information that helped. I hope I gave y'all a little bit of hope. Again, Asha wouldn't have said the Elder Scrolls if it was more than a year away. Stay with it. Stay with that hope. Candy Cane, tell them bye-bye. Y'all have a blessed rest of your weekend. May God bless you, and God bless you for your kindness for me. I appreciate it.